We might not have strengthened our team as much as we'd hoped in January, but we seem to have found some new options from our academy. And today we are going to be talking about how Potter is leading the way with West Ham's next generation. Let's go. Yes, West Ham Network. So today we're going to be chatting about West Ham's next generation and the chances that they are currently getting at West Ham to prove themselves. Now, over the years, we've been very keen, haven't we, as a whole, to see more of the youth. And this is something that I personally have been desperate to see. You could say I've been advocating, can't speak today. You could say I've been asking for it on social media for many a year. We've had Mabama, we've had Diangana, we've had all these players. We've been saying, let us see what they can do. We've wanted them to get that game time. And it's something that's felt really difficult in recent years because there never seems to have been a perfect time to have just thrown them into the mix, whether there's been high pressure because we are desperately needing points because we're on the verge of relegation or desperately needing to try and stay in a certain position. We've had difficult environments to come into with poor performances surrounding players. We've had negativity around managers. It's just been a lot of stress. And naturally, that's not the best time to put a youngster into the mix and go, do you reckon you could save our day? Although you've never really had a chance at doing this before. So there's been very few chances for academy players on the whole, because things have not been very stable at West Ham, shall we say. And then when these players have come on, it's been for really short periods of time and they never get regular appearances. So when you're talking about introducing the youth and giving them a chance to actually perform well and build careers for themselves and show us what they can do, they're not really getting a fair chance. Because first of all, you need to be put in at the right time, in the right circumstances. But then you also need to be given the time to actually build and improve. Nobody, including players that are proven at the top level of the game, can just step into the Premier League and just make it look easy like a walk in the park. And yet we're giving these players 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then wondering why we're never like, oh, they can do good things. There's a horrible little blur, isn't there, on the screen there? Give that little wipey wipe. Bit better, that'll do. Got rid of that. So yeah, Graham Potter has now come in and he has made it look pretty easy to give game time to youngsters, which is no easy feat. Now, we can't say it's the biggest surprise because we saw that he did this at Brighton in particular. He loves to give the youth a chance and he loves to bring the best out of players and help them to succeed. He's really good with people, and I think this plays a key part in using this valuable skill to get the most out of anybody that he comes across, whether it's players he's already got, whether it's new players, whether it's academy players, whoever it is. Graham Potter has a good chance of making them perform because he knows how to communicate and he knows how to build confidence. And all of these things are key parts of actually a player that has the right attributes succeeding. And making sure that these chances come at the right time is so important, and it appears that this is something that we're starting to really do. So we're going to have to talk about Ollie Scarles first, because at the age of just 19 he is working on making that left back position his own. He's had 10 appearances, I believe, for the senior side this season, and he'd only had one before that, and it looks as though he's got the ability to be a regular in our side. He looks really, really impressive, and he has walked into the Premier League and hasn't made it look like a gigantic step up, in my opinion. He's coping incredibly. Potter's clearly keen, with Sculls having featured in every one of our games under him, and it's completely understandable because he really has impressed in every single game. He hasn't looked out of his depth in any way, and he made his first start in Potter's first match. So they've kind of been there from the beginning together, which is quite cute, isn't it? It's cute. So Potter spoke about how Sculls has been playing. In fact, when he was asked to describe him in one word, he said that he needed more than one word. He said, amazing, that's some performance. And then he added that it's basically a big thank you to the academy because of the level of players like this are so rare, and that he's a really good character. Obviously, he went on to speak about how he's got lots of work to do and he's got a lot of a big career ahead of him if he can work hard. But we can see this. He works hard. He gets forward. He plays 1-2s. He looks to get balls into the box. These are all things that we want somebody in that position to be doing. And I've said it before, he feels like a bit of a combination between like an Emerson and a Cresswell, which is great. And I think if he starts running at players, if he could add the kind of running at players that Wan-Bissaka's achieving on the other side, if he could add that to his game, I honestly feel like we could have the perfect type of left back or left wing back, whatever you want to call him, in that position. And it's exciting, but he's not the only player that is looking good. So we've got Caelan Casey, another one at just 20 years of age. He's impressing. He's actually been, I didn't realise, on West Ham's books since the age of 5, which is crazy. West Ham season ticket holder, so we know he loves the club. And he has started to work his way into our squad. His only appearance was actually under Lopetegui, but he has made the bench 5 times for Potter so far. So it looks as though, again, he's another one that's coming through the ranks and getting pushed in the direction of getting that game time. Orford has just turned 19. He's another one that started at West Ham when he was 5. I didn't actually realise how young either of those were when they actually started in the system. Got his first Premier League debut against Crystal Palace, if I'm correct, and then he featured against Chelsea. Personally, I think putting him out on loan, like Potts has had, would be so beneficial, because it would be really amazing to get this highly rated youngster the chance to work his way into our starting 11. And I think that could come with a little bit more game time at really high levels. Speaking of Potts as well, he did incredibly at Wycombe last season. He made 43 appearances, 2 goals and 2 assists in that time. And he also got voted their player of the season. And now he's doing really well again for Portsmouth this season. So much so that he has played 27 league games in the Championship. And he has spoken multiple times passionately about how much he's loving it, how much he wants to say thank you to the fans. It's basically going very, very well. It's also thought that Portsmouth are keen to sign him, but they expect that there's going to be interest from West Ham in terms of holding on to Potts, which is what we want to hear, because we don't want to do, in a way, I like what Potter did at Brighton, where he brought people through the ranks. I don't want us to then get rid of that talent, especially when we need players. If we can use them, that's what I would love us to use that Academy of Football for. We've spoken about it in detail before, where we're like, we don't want to just get rid of everyone, but we want to bring this talent through and then use them, love them, embrace them, make them captains over the years. So we've got others. We've got George Earthy, another one, got 2 goals the other night, didn't he? Featured a fair amount for Bristol City so far. And for me, he's one that I'm really excited about, because when you're watching him, it just feels exciting. When he gets on the ball, it feels like something could happen. And this is one that I'm really keen to keep an eye on and see how he progresses. Callum Marshall has done brilliantly for Huddersfield. He has got 8 goals and 3 assists in 35 games. So the future's definitely looking bright for him. So yeah, those are the, I guess, main players in the next generation of West Ham. I just wanted to talk about it today, because obviously we put a lot of pressure on transfer windows, but to have this building in the background where we've got the ability to get players in potentially without having to pay to sign, but also just, I think, yeah, it brings so many positives, being able to get this talent in-house and being able to use them. Academy of Football, it feels like it's really working well at the moment. We've spoken in the past as well about how players like Mabama not getting a chance, almost like it was the Academy of Football and people get up and then they just have to leave if they want to turn it into something. But it feels like that's really changed, and that the Academy is now a stepping stone to the first team if you put in that work. And we've got a head coach now that's willing to take these risks, that wants to give these youngsters a chance and put them in these opportunities, in these positions where they can actually show what they can do. And I think that responsibility as well is so good for these players to go, okay, you've worked hard, you've proven yourself in training, you've done everything else, go and get it. Because sometimes these youngsters are the ones that give the first team players more of a kick up the arse than anyone else, because they are desperate to get on the ball. You see them come on that pitch and they are screaming for the ball every 2 seconds because they want it. They want that opportunity, and they know that these chances are few and far in between. And not many Premier League clubs give the academy players chances to come through the ranks. So they want to grab this chance and they want to make the most of it. And that is what I want every single West Ham player to do on that pitch. So I think it's a really good thing mentality-wise. And yeah, I'm just so excited to see what they can do under Potter. So I just wanted to have a little chat today, because it's exactly what we've needed to give ourselves a little boost. Some up-and-coming players keen to leave their mark, keeps the proven Premier League players on their toes, and most importantly, it shows that hard work in the academy pays off. It's going to bring more talent into West Ham. It's going to mean that more talent stays at West Ham, and this is what we want. So yeah, that's what we wanted to chat about today, because it's a little thing to make us all smile. We've obviously had the Newcastle game. We need to move on from that and grow from there. We're aware that obviously midfield needs strengthening massively so that we can fix the challenges that we've got there. We've got problems with the defence. We need strikers. We basically need the whole core of our team to be reinvigorated next transfer window. But I just wanted to talk today about something that we do have coming in the meantime, is some new players, some youngsters, and something that can hopefully tide us over till that summer transfer window. But also, I want these players to have proven themselves by then so that we can actually say, you know what? We don't need this player in this position. We've got a backup in this academy player or whoever it may be, because this is how you get to use them. Obviously, I'm not saying that I want all of our academy players to come through the ranks and become our first choice, but I want them to perform so damn well between now and summer that we have a question over which positions are most important, over whether these people will be our first choice or whether we're bringing in a second choice. These are the conversations I want to be having in summer, because these guys have hit the ground running. So there you go. The future of the academy is looking very bright. The question that I've got for you is, which youngsters are you most excited about? So let us know down below in that comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. And for anyone new around here, for anyone older around here, you know, I'm about to say, hit that subscribe button and you never have to miss an update. Follow West Ham Network. It really supports the channel any way you interact, whether you're giving thumbs up, subscribing, getting a membership to treat yourself to that exclusive content, whatever you fancy. It is a joy and a pleasure to have you here. That's all from me for now, but have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Let's smash this week. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Hump day. Happy hump day. Until next time, come on, you irons. Irons.